OnePlus 10 Pro release date. When will the phone arrive in the United States? It took several announcements, but OnePlus finally revealed just about everything we need to know about the OnePlus 10 Pro, save for one critical detail. While the new OnePlus flagship is now available in China, it's still not officially known just when the OnePlus 10 Pro will reach other countries such as the US and UK. That's a big deal. OnePlus phones have a dedicated following in those countries from smartphone users who appreciate how OnePlus packs premium features into devices that don't cost as much as some of the other best Android phones. Naturally, these OnePlus fans are just a wee bit curious as to when the OnePlus 10 Pro is coming their way. All OnePlus has told us is that the OnePlus 10 Pro will come to markets outside China later in 2022. That's a pretty wide window and a long time to potentially wait if you've got your sights set on a OnePlus 10 Pro. So when will the OnePlus 10 Pro reach the US and UK? We can't say for certain, but we can make an educated guess, especially with a new rumor that's added more clarity to the timing of the OnePlus 10 Pro's global launch. OnePlus past behavior may provide some clue as to what will happen this time around with the OnePlus 10 Pro. Typically, the company unveils its big flagship phone for the year in early spring, with the date inching forward in recent years. 5 years ago, OnePlus released its flagship phone in late June. Gradually, that date has crept forward, with the OnePlus 9 and OnePlus 9 Pro debuting in March a year ago. Given the pattern of release dates for recent OnePlus flagships, you'd expect that March release schedule to continue, assuming OnePlus doesn't continue trying to move up the release of its phone. Two factors could impact rollout plans for this year. First, the COVID-19 pandemic is ongoing, with the Omicron variant of the disease causing a surge in cases, potentially that could impact production, possibly delaying OnePlus launch plans. Second, the chip shortage that's dogged the electronic industry for most of 2021 is continuing into this year, which could also impact release dates for things like phones. There's also the small matter of the Samsung Galaxy S22, which is expected to arrive in a month's time. Specifically, the latest rumor has the Galaxy S22 debuting at the Samsung Unpacked 2022 event on February the 8th or February the 9th, with the phone itself shipping before the end of the month. You wouldn't think that the launch of a Samsung phone would have much of an impact on OnePlus plans, but the devices aren't completely unrelated. In recent years, Samsung has been the first phone maker to feature the latest Snapdragon system on chip in US-bound handsets, to the point where some have speculated that Samsung enjoys an exclusivity window with Qualcomm silicon. Even if such a deal isn't in place, generally the first phone to land in the US with Qualcomm's latest chipset has been a Samsung flagship. The OnePlus 10 Pro will feature the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1, Qualcomm's new top-of-the-line silicon, but it's largely expected that the US version of the Galaxy S22 will run on that chipset, too. If that's the case, the OnePlus 10 Pro might appear after the Galaxy S22 launches, pushing its release into March at the earliest. We didn't have a lot of rumors to go on for when the OnePlus 10 Pro might arrive in other countries like the US or UK, mostly because rumors had been focusing on the phone's specs in advance of its reveal at the beginning of January. For a long time, all we really had to go on was a tweet from leaker Max Jamba dating back to November. Jamba had mentioned the staggered launch plans for the OnePlus 10 Pro, with the early release in China. That same report includes a timeline where the global launch of the phone is pegged for the March-April timeframe, but new details have emerged since the OnePlus 10 Pro's China release. Leaker Yogesh Brar has posted OnePlus' alleged launch schedule for the first half of this year, and it includes a March date for the OnePlus 10 Pro global launch. If accurate, it sounds like we have at least a month and a half before the OnePlus 10 Pro reaches the US and the UK. That also means the phone will arrive after the Galaxy S22 launch, assuming that timeframe is accurate. 2. There's a reason the OnePlus 10 Pro is such a highly anticipated phone. Besides the new Snapdragon chipset, there's the promise of ongoing camera improvements fueled by OnePlus' partnership with Hasselblad. We're also told the fast refreshing display uses new LTPO 2.0 technology, and we're eager to see that in action, as well as if there's a OnePlus 10 standard model, like we hope there will be. But all signs, from OnePlus history to rumors about the US launch date, point to a March launch for the OnePlus 10 Pro. OnePlus fans can take comfort in the fact that the date isn't all that different from the past few years, though the release of the phone elsewhere may make that of little comfort.